the whole scenario that has come out in 2021, after cancellation of the board examination, and then, you read about the fear or the anxiety, as you might say it, among the student that, we had been preparing only for the board examination. And now at this stage, to say that you're going to have a certain percentage of class 10th and class 11th, when we were not very serious about it, I think that puts a very big question mark on our complete education system per se. On one hand, we talk about that there has to be a continuous assessment, a continuous evaluation. Yes. But are we also talking about that the student has to have a continuous learning process also? And should the learning process, be marked only by one end examination? Because I somehow feel that, if the education system was, where the student was learning continuously, and any examination which is there is actually based on what you have learned, it's more conceptual, I don't think so, that fear or that anxiety would have ever come. But, having talked about that, maybe it's a very, very idealistic situation. We also need to be very practical as to what the scenario right now is and how do we answer about that. And as you have rightly said, that on one hand, where the students are, the anxiety of their board examinations being held, because, if you go by the last year experience, so, the students were always, okay, my 2 or 3 papers are left. Okay, after 1 month, I'm going to have my examination. So let me sit and prepare. Then it got postponed, and then, there is a sort of a rhythm that is built, and, even when we have gone through the board examination process, so during those 15, 16 days, there is a momentum. You're preparing for one subject, that one subject is over, you're preparing for the second subject, and so on and so forth. And the students totally lost that momentum. So that way, where one anxiety has been settled, I think the students have become more anxious about the admission process, for a higher degree. And when you talk about the proctored examination, so say, for example, JEE, not many students, who are aspiring even to do their, they follow their undergraduate courses in pure sciences. Because I know a number of students, at least, who come to the University of Delhi, they are absolutely clear in their mind that, they want to follow pure sciences subjects, say, for example, physics or chemistry or even mathematics, and they do not want to go into the engineering stream. So they don't appear for the JEE examination. And the JEE examination, if I'm not wrong, out of the 4 phases, 2 had been conducted. And 2, I think, were yet to be done, because JEE had planned to have, 4 such entrance tests this year, which was an excellent idea. But again, because of this pandemic, now the students who have not given that, SAT, in fact, they generally gave if they have wanted to go outside. So at this stage, many students had not thought about it this year, that, either of these proctor's tests could be considered, as a way of the admissions to their, higher education, to the undergraduate program, which they needed to follow. So at this stage, to inculcate that, I do not think so. Personally, I would like to, go in for that. It's much better that even at this stage, if we can have some sort of a common entrance test, and, when you talk about making it very easy, I somehow feel that, if there are certain conceptual, what we call as basically is, the situation-based questions, they are very difficult to frame, but that does not require much of a rote learning. It's much of an understanding of a problem. That would, of course, be an ideal conditions if those kinds of, entrance tests could be prepared, where a student actually sits in the examination hall, reads the question, reads the context, and then applies it, with whatever knowledge he has gained over the past 10, 11 or 12 years of schooling.